FuturICT is a scientific project meant to come up with an integration of different scientific disciplinary areas, namely complexity science, the science of complex systems, social sciences, and ICT, for the purpose of developing new theories and new tools, new instruments and technologies to investigate through the collection and analysis of big data the main problems of society that are on the shoulders, so to speak, of mankind since its dawn. Well, personally, I am what may be called an expert in this field. I am practicing agent-based modeling since at least 20 years now, but never as much as now, I had the feeling that the only way out from the problems of science, of the social sciences especially, the only way out is agent-based modeling. And the reason is because we cannot really understand the main mechanisms that are responsible for the problems, the events and the processes we are dealing with if we do not take a generative approach. In other words, agent-based modeling allows us to grow up the phenomena that we want to explain on the computer and visualize not only the effect, but the process that leads to those effects. This is absolutely fundamental. No only data-driven, nor only theory-driven, nor inductive, nor deductive methods can do alone on their own the work, the job. The job has to be done combining these two directions of modeling and actually understanding the mechanisms that lead to the events that we want to predict or possibly anticipate. Well, I think we should understand FuturICT is big science, but it's not only big science. At least if we mean by big science a science of big data. FuturICT is more than that. FuturICT is science of big data, science of big theories, and science of big problems. So it's this three-dimensional constituency which is the main heritage of FuturICT and its main mission, if you want. Well, innovation that I expect from FuturICT and that the public and the European officers should expect from it is development of infrastructures, technological infrastructures, ICT infrastructures that allow us to make conditioned anticipation of events in some critical domains of economy and society. Think of the financial crisis. I mean, so far scientists, economists are usually put the blame on because they couldn't allow ourselves to predict what was going on and even to understand in detail what is still going on. So the main innovation that I expect is a science that actually allows us to go into the detail of crisis detection and management, if not also prediction. Look, there are a number of ethical considerations that are at hand, that are to be considered when dealing with these issues. Privacy is one, but it's not the only one. So we should not overemphasize it at the expenses of other important values or ethical issues, like, for example, a responsible use of the technologies, which of course will have good positive consequences on privacy maintenance, but not only on that. What about a more inclusive, a more participatory access to the big data that we are now able to collect and produce? What about the so-called democratization of this big data and of the ways that, that we are able to develop to make them accessible to a higher and ever-growing number of people? All these things have consequences on the values that we share as scientists. I mean, science is never a neutral endeavor. And we have to be able to take side in a responsible way. So we share some fundamental values of ideal type democratic societies. And in the aim of such ideal type values, we have to understand what science can do. This is an ethical issue. So in the end, any large project of this scale has ethical issues to consider. But I think that we have to come up with guidelines for designing our systems which incorporate such ethical recommendations and considerations. And we have to somehow cope with this purpose by means, again, of a large federated effort, a large interdisciplinary efforts that put together scientists from several different areas of society, and not only scientists, but also policymakers, stakeholders, and citizenship. And I think that the key solution for this type of problem really is integration, multi-party collaboration and integration of the different institutions that are somehow involved in the management of complex societies as ours.